this father of her kid was really jealous and was like always accusing her of two-timing on him. Like once they went on a trip down to Patagonia with him and her son when he was 1 year old, and his friend and his friend's girlfriend, and his friend's girlfriend didn't like her. I guess she was jealous with her or something because her boyfriend was the king of the gang or whatever, and like she told her, she like accused her of like being a wannabe angel just because she didn't want to smoke weed with the gang, so she punched the girl in the face. But anyways, yeah, because my wife, she never smoked weed. I only saw her smoke weed like maybe like 12 times the whole time I was with her. But anyways, yeah, they go on this trip, and this girl didn't like her, so she told. So like, and she was on the phone one day, like arguing with her mom, having some emotional conversation. So the lady went and told her boyfriend, my wife's boyfriend, that she was on a conversation with her boyfriend, and she overheard it. So he came and like yelled at her and decided he was going to get revenge by driving off and finishing the trip, the vacation, without her, and left her there with her 6-month-old baby. So she had to like, and she didn't have any money, so she had to borrow money from the owner of the hotel room and go back to Santiago. But anyways, yeah, but I mean, she was pretty jealous with me too. Like I went to a party, what's it called, a Halloween party once, and it was really late in the day. It was like 4 in the morning, and I started talking to some girl just for a couple of seconds, and then next thing I know, my wife's in my face just screaming her head off at me as loud as she can, telling me that I'm two-timing her and that she's not going to let that happen, and what the hell am I doing talking to another woman. So I was like, whoa. So I grabbed her and threw her in the elevator, and we left. And we got in the back of a pickup. Some guy from the party like offered to drive us back to our house, but my wife was in the front seat, and so we got out of the pickup. Only she takes off with the guy. I guess she was going to try and get revenge by like leaving with the guy. And so like her brother, who was with us, like runs after the truck, totally freaking out, like, oh no, he's abducting my sister, he's abducting my sister. Then he runs back and like tells the family. The whole family freaks out, like she's going to get raped or something. So they call the cops, and the cops come over, and they're all the cops like go looking for her, and like they cause this huge stir, freaking out. And then she comes back like an hour later, and they like totally freak out on her, like yelling at her. But then she comes in the room. I'm just like, let's just go to bed. But I mean, she two-timed on me with a Norwegian guy and with an Italian guy. And that's who actually gave her baby, and that's who she's with right now. So, but she did bust me because when I went to Argentina to try and, but the only reason I went to Argentina was to try and see if I get like my Argentine girlfriend to help me get money out of this check from the 2 months of work, and they only were paying me. It was like they paid me an after devaluation money, too, but I couldn't get the money because the bank had gone defunct. But I ended up, but I didn't tell my wife that I went to Argentina. Well, she was my girlfriend at the time, because I didn't want her to like get all pissed off at me. But she found out anyway because I was stupid and I was all high, and I left like my bus ticket in my pocket. So she got all pissed off, punched me in the face, and gave me this bloody lip. But and then it was funny because right when she did that, I got the worst asthma attack I've ever had in my life, dude, and like almost died. Like it was crazy. So I actually had to quit smoking weed for like 1.5 years. I didn't smoke anything because I was just terrified to do it. Because like, and I think I got that asthma attack from Buenos Aires. Like I cannot go to Buenos Aires. I spent 6 days in the hospital in Buenos Aires because I like almost died from an asthma attack. And then when I originally went to Santiago. From being there the second time, I almost died in Santiago. That was probably the closest I'd ever come to death. I was in my hotel room, and I was just like struggling to stay conscious. I could barely breathe. there's some kind of plant that only exists in Buenos Aires that I am deadly allergic to, that will close up my alveoli and kill me dead. Like, I cannot go to Buenos Aires. I am terrified of that place. I will die if I go there. There's a weird plant there, man. So it was crazy. So anyways, but that gave me a reason to not smoke weed for like a year and a half, and that was good. Needed to take some time off of that. But so yeah, she was, I mean, I guess she wasn't as bad as some other, I mean, that's one reason she liked being with me. She liked hooking up with like American me and the Norwegian boyfriend, Italian one, is because those guys just, they're not jealous. They're not two-timing you and then trying to accuse you of being a prostitute. I guess the father of her kid was always calling her a prostitute and stuff, and even held a gun to her head and like shot it in the air and threatened to kill her if she would like screw a guy or something, you know, two-time on him, even though she never did. So, and there's even movies, like every movie you see down there is about being unfaithful. And I guess she said like all the rich guys have in that country have mistresses, and like multiple mistresses and stuff. It's like an order of course. And she did tell me of one boss she had. It was this old, nasty old rich guy who locked her in a bathroom and didn't want to let her go unless she like had sexual relations with him. And then told her that, you know, he was going to fire her if she didn't, you know, do that, and it was just really nasty to her, and like always trying to tell her she's stupid and stuff. And I mean, she hates rich people. That's like, I mean, according to like my wife, and I guess who represents the poor underclass, she thinks if you have money, you're automatically like evil. And I mean, I can understand. She said she had some job where she had to get up at 6 in the morning and take a bus 1 hour each way to work, and worked 6 days a week, and she made like $200 a month off of that, 60 hours a week, you know, and taking a bus across a stinky, loud city. And on top of that, the boss was like always yelling at her and like being rude and stuff. And then she got another job while I was first with her, as a secretary for one of her ex-bosses, but not the boss who she got along with, some other guy. And like after he hired her, he told her that now she was going to have to work 6 days a week instead of 5, you know, and but for the same price as like he originally said, and which was just a ridiculously low amount of money. So she quit that after a month. But anyways, yeah. So for the last 2 years that I was there, she didn't work at all until like the last 6 months. She's trying to sell their own therapy products after we stopped the massage thing at the office, but she would sell it to people who didn't want to pay right away, but they'd pay later, but they never did, so she kind of gave up on that. And I was making enough money as an English teacher, so it didn't really matter. She'd get to hang out at home and cook for me and stuff. Plus I was working as a model. I did like 4 commercials and a few photo shoots, but I was stupid. I didn't go to my castings, and I didn't even go to like most of my callbacks and stuff, so they kind of stopped calling me. I wish if I had a revolve time, I would have gone to all of those castings and all the callbacks, because it was just a reason to ride my bike, you know. It's a good reason to ride across town and stay fit. Because I got a really big belly while I was there, and that was the only exercise that I got. I wasn't like lifting weights or anything. If I had a car, I probably shouldn't have sold the second car, but I just didn't want to risk it breaking down every time. I felt like people were fixing it just to break down. And that's actually what my wife said. She says that all mechanics fix cars deliberately to break down. I don't know, she maybe was kind of cynical though, because her dad was just a bad mechanic. Yeah, so I just didn't get a whole lot of exercise. I did get exercise, some from like the construction I did though. Like her brother was kicked out of the house because, well, I don't want to say why. Because her mother got pissed off at his wife, that's all I can say. But Yeah, so they got kicked out, but I knew that my wife knew that he was only going to be gone a maximum of a month or two because there's no way he was going to be able to pay his rent because he was a crackhead. And he wasn't working at his brother anymore because he was fired from there for stealing gold, so he was working at a supermarket. But